middle. M-I words. Ready? Going to go for middle. M-I, straight up. D, back to the D, back to the D. Back here. D, find your L. L, up. E. Mint. So you could say that's in mint condition. Kind of means it's in perfect condition, so let's do mint. M, I, down to N, down, N and across. That was nice. Oh, minute. Oh no, minute. Let's do minute. I think it's spelled the same, but it is. Yeah, I think they are, aren't they? Okay, we'll do minute. You like counting the minutes, so which hand are you using? M. We're over here. So that's it. We'll start again. Ready? M over to the I. Min. Down to the U. U. Across here. T. Up. B. Lovely. Minute. Oh, miss. Can't talk about them. Miss. M. I. S. Back to the S. You've got it. There. Very good. Do the two S's together. Two S's together. S. S. Okay, good. Okay, so this hymn that I found is called Your Mission. So let's just start with that. So let's do, it's called Your... Using this hand? It's just the start of the lesson and the finish off of the skill practice. Your, go for it, M, you got it. I, now the two S's are together again. S, straight back to the S, straight back, good. S, up. I, over this way, O. Yeah, Your Mission. And it was written back in 1860, so quite a long time ago, by a lady called Ellen, E-L-L-E-N, M-H Gates. So what word did I say it was written? It was written in one, 8, yeah. Go for it. 6. Yeah, in 1860, it was that long ago, she wrote it on a piece of slate. And the lady that wrote it, her name was Ellen M.H. Surname. G.A. Go down. T, good. E, yeah, Ellen M.H. Gates. And what did she write it on? Did she write it on paper or something else? She wrote it on S, L, A, T, E. So it came up on my search for like kind of positive poems. I wanted to do something that we both remember, and so it is a poem, but it's actually she wrote it as a hymn, so she obviously wanted it to be sung in churches. And in 1865, a man called Philip Phillips, that's always amuses me that they choose the same name for the first name. So it's called Philip Phillips, and he sang, but let me get this right, the United States Christian Mission. The United States Christian Mission. And the president at the time was Abraham Lincoln. He was actually there that time when he heard this hymn, and he was so moved by it, he asked for an encore. So if you ask for an encore, what are you doing? You're asking for S, O, M, yeah, where now? E, T, 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 H, I, N, something, A, yeah, A, go back to the A, start your word again. A, now where? Get it? Come on, find it. G, back again. A, I, N. Yeah, you were just something you asked for again. So who asked for this again in the Christian Mission during the service? It was A, B, R, A, H, Abraham. Let's finish off. This is just practice warming up. Abraham. Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln. We talked about him recently, didn't we? Because it was his birthday, I think, or would have been his birthday. Okay, so it starts off like this. I'm just going to take this off, it's rattling around. Put it underneath there. Okay, so she says, if you cannot sail on the ocean sail among the swiftest fleet, rocking on the highest bellows, billows, billows, laughing at the storms you meet. So she started in the first way working on the ocean, and she says if you cannot on the ocean sail among the swiftest fleet. So if you're swift, what are you being? Are you being fast, slow, clumsy? How would you describe fast? F-A-S, yeah, fast. Now, often we hear the fleet of ships very often, but I wondered, like, how come when you see lots of different sometimes in places there can be so many different ships all in one place, but they're not classed as a fleet. So what actually makes a fleet? Well, if you're in a fleet, you have to be going in the same direction, you have to be engaged in the same activity, or you have to be under the same ownership. So to be part of a fleet, what's one of the things you need to be, or to be doing? T-H-E in the S-A-M in the same. Which one are you thinking of? Oh yeah, good. Finish that word. A-C-T-I. Yeah, go, down. V, up again. You've got a lot of, it's okay. You've got a lot of movement. You've got to go back up there now. I, lower. T, and even lower. Move that elbow back. That's it. Yeah, you've got to be doing the same activity. So if you cannot on the ocean sail among the swiftest fleet, rocking on the highest billows. Billows, just practice that. Spell billows. B-I-L-L-O-W-S. That ear still playing up. Let's just spell billows. B-I-L. Go back to the L. You've got it. L and over this way. O-W-S. Yeah, billows. That's an unusual word. Obviously, this was written a long time ago. And that simply means a great wave. So imagine you're in the ocean. You're on the swiftest. You're in among the swiftest fleet. You're rocking on the highest billow, which is also could be described as a G-R-E-A as a great, well done. Carry on. W-A-V, yeah, which is a great way. Yeah, you're doing good. So she's saying if you cannot sail on the ocean, what can you do? Well, she says you can stand among the sailors, anchored yet within the bay. You can lend a hand to help them as they launch their boats away. So if you're not able to go onto the boats in the ocean, there's still stuff you can do. You can stand among the sailors, so you can still be part of it, and might be anchored. So if you're anchored, what are you? If you're anchored, what's she trying to say? You're going to be kept in. O-N-E-P-L-A-C. Yeah, you're going to be in one place, but you're still going to be part of this big journey. So she's saying you might be anchored yet within the bay, and you can lend a hand to help them as they launch their boats away. So you can still be part of it because you're going to help them do what to their boats? You're going to help them U N C. So you can help them launch them. Then she goes on to say, if you are too weak to journey up the mountains, steep and high, you can stand within the valley. So if you're in the valley, where are you? And then say like often you get kind of like you get this mountain, like a big mountain, and then it starts to come down. So here's like the valley here, so the mountain's behind it. So if you're in the valley, where are you? You are just you are just by T H, just by the N O U N N, yeah, N T, oh right across, A, good. Now find the I, you straight down now, I, back down, N and down again. Go and push it, push forward. What's this one? I'll do the last letter for you, that's fine. Yeah, you're just by the mountains. So she says if you're too weak to journey up the mountain steep and high, you can stand within the valley while the multitudes go by. You can chant in happy measure as they slowly pass along. So chant, if you're chanting, what else could you be doing? How would you envisage that? S I N G I N. Yeah, I thought so too. Yeah, more of like a singing. So you can chant in happy measure as they slowly pass along, though they may forget the singer, they will not forget the song. So what might they forget? They might forget the S I N G E. Might forget the singer, but they will not forget T H the S O N G. So you're still going to be part of their adventures as they go up, because they may forget you personally, they won't forget your song. Then she says, if it goes on to like agricultural, so she says, if you cannot harvest, what are you thinking? Do you want to carry on the bed, or you've indicated that you... So do you want to do it on the bed, or do you need a break? Which one? You can use your board. Oh, thank you, sorry. What do you want to do? Do you want to carry on the bed, or have a break? Well, you show me, it's carry on or break. C, A, oh, okay, yeah. R, Y. Okay, we'll carry on the bed, that's fine. You have to sit forward though, it's hard to do it. If you need a tiny break, I'll just read it to you and then we can go back and have a look at it in more detail, okay? So you just listen for a minute and then you can sit up. So your mission. If you cannot on the ocean sail among the swiftest fleet, rocking on the highest billows, laughing at the storms you meet, you can stand among the sailors, anchored yet within the bay. Oh God. You can lend a hand to help them as they launch their boats away. If you are too weak to journey up the mountain steep and high, you can stand within the valley while the multitudes go by. You can chant in happy measure as they slowly pass along. Though they may forget the singer, they will not forget the song. If you cannot in the harvest garner up the richest sheaves, many a grain, both ripe and golden, oft the careless reaper leaves. Go and glean among the briars, growing rank against the wall, for it may be that their shadow hides the heaviest grain of all. If you cannot in the conflict prove yourself a soldier true, if where fire and smoke are thickest, there's no work for you to do. When the battlefield is silent, you can go with careful tread. You can bear away the wounded, you can cover up the dead. Do not then stand idly waiting for some greater work to do. Fortune is a lazy goddess, she will never come to you. Go and toil in any vineyard, do not fear to do and dare. If you want a field of labour, you can find it anywhere. So we got as far as the harvesting day. So he said, if you cannot, book. If you cannot in the harvest garner up the richest sheaves. Now garner is an old-fashioned word, and that means to gather or collect. So instead of saying gather or collect in the old days, they said, what did they say? They said, you can sit up. Yeah. Can you sit up, mate? Good job. So since they gather and collect, they said G A R N E R. They garner up the sheep. And the sheaves, they're the bundles in which the all the like the cereals, the wheat and stuff is collected. So you know when you oh that's not really good. So imagine you're like going around and collecting all the corn. Okay, so they're picking them up and they've put them into like sheaves. You'll have seen them, they're like bouquets of, and then they're tied around, so that's all like corn there. So that would be a sheaf, S-H-E-A-V-E. So when you bundle up the corn or the wheat or whatever, they would call it S-H-E-A-V-E. Yeah, they're called sheaves. So they've garnered up the richest sheaves, and then it says many a grain, both ripe and golden, oft the careless reaper leaves. So oft again is like an old-fashioned word meaning often. So often the careless reaper will leave still lots of good grains on the floor. They just drop them as they were collecting the rest. So it says you could like help with that. So go and glean among the briars, growing rank against the wall, for it may be that their shadow takes the heaviest grain of all. So the briars are like prickly bushes that you have to go and look for. And if they're growing rank, that kind of means they're growing in rows. So it says, what can you do if you can't do the main part of the harvest? You can go and look behind the box, behind the the briars, which are growing in what? How are they growing? They're growing Alright. You need 5 minutes. We can come back in 5 minutes.